All right, guys. Hey, what is going on? Of course, I am your plus size booktuber, Amira Blaze here, and welcome back, guys, to another fine episode of Book Shade. So we got lots to cover here, and sorry. Okay, I'm running on that black people late time. Okay, I am way behind schedule, guys, but look, I can't help it. Okay, I am a fat black woman and I turned into a hibernation bear. Okay, like for some reason today I felt maybe the nutrients were not in my system, and I just went, and maybe that's just coming, with getting older and stuff. Like I was just like, I was out. Okay, so I just woke up like an hour and a half ago, and I was like, okay, you guys see me without makeup, so it is what it is. But I was like, I gotta beat my mug, and I'm not trying to, scare you with my crazy ass looking face. Okay, I'll leave that for my boyfriend or my husband someday. That unfortunately they're gonna have to see how I look like without this. Feel so bad for them, but all my jokes and messiness aside here, guys, we got a lot to cover today. So you know me, guys, I be keeping up with what's happening the best that I can in the whole booktube culture and community and all that, and I observed that a lot of people are doing what are called like read with me's, or people do like a live episode where people are getting together and reading and stuff, but I wanted to do reading reactions. Like I wanted to do this live for you guys to see my reaction reading all sorts of different like books and book series and all of that. So what I decided to do, guys, because there's something called Readathons, very popular here on BookTube, and there are so many of them, guys. I can't keep up with the shit, okay? So I can't really keep up with it. So I decided to do something different, and I turned a Readathon into a book battle challenge. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be called Book Battle Challenge, Readathon Challenge. Okay, and I just pick a readathon and I just kind of follow the rules to it and do a reaction of what I'm reading. Okay, so first things first, guys, I did get a email for the show, so let me show that to you, and that is bookshadenews@gmail.com. okay, so this is for you want to give me book recommendations, you just want to let me know what's on your mind, if you want to contact me, if you're an author and you want to interview, like that kind of stuff, that's what this is for. It's for for you guys as the alternative book snobs as well, to keep in touch with me. So I'll show this at like the beginning and the end of every episode. I'm also on that social media, which is at for Twitter and Instagram at bookshade1. And of course we have Havoc, and Havoc says, I can't read. What you mean you can't read? How you gonna come to a show that focuses on reading and you can't read? I feel so bad for you, Havoc. You have come to the right place. You can get audiobooks if you can't read, but reading is important. I would advise you, or suggest, I'm gonna say suggest, okay, I will suggest for you to get some reading lessons. That's important, man. Let me tell you, reading, guys, let me tell you, reading gives me orgasms. Okay, you give me a good juicy book, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling my fantasy. Okay, so you already know. And we got Schnorks. What's up, Schnorks? What's going on? welcome to the program. And Jenny, hey, what's up? Welcome. As they would say in Persona 3 Faz, welcome back. A mess. This damn ass messy ass show. Okay, and Schnook is asking, what's the recent quarantine read? Okay, first off, I need some quarantine romances. So if you guys have any suggestions for quarantine romances, this is where you need to contact me right here. bookshadenews@gmail.com. Okay, so all my messiness aside here, but the quarantine romances is lit right now. Like, everybody in Romancelandia, and guys, I'm not even joking, that is the official term for people that are fans of the romance book community. It's called Romancelandia. Okay, apparently the quarantine romances are very lit, and see like, this would be my type of quarantine romance. Like, it would just be me and like Jackie Chan, right? And then he would jump between two windows and put me in his big strong action superstar arms and shit. Yeah, I that's my ultimate fantasy right there. This is, I have a thing for Asian men. I just have a thing for fine men that have good health insurance and who want to settle down, with big chocolate woman like myself. Keeping it classy here. All right, no, a mess. Oh gosh, this show. And and Jenny says, reading romance is how I learned to read. See, that's the thing. You gotta see, most of the time when people come and they say, I can't read, and I'm like, it's because you're not inspired. You are not inspired. That's what it is, And let's see. And Havoc says, I like you. Well, you probably the only person, because let me tell you, I am either people are calling me like the worst person ever. My personality sucks. I'm fat. I have no neck. Apparently I glisten too much. You know what this is? It's called natural shine. Okay, I'm African American. My skin gonna glow naturally. Okay, I put on the proper lotions to look good. Okay, but a mess. And Shook says shy. I just like saying it like that. I sound like one of those guys in those like fishing programs. Look, guys, let me tell you, I have a thing for watching those like hunting and fishing shows, because you will never see my black ass out there. Okay, I'm just, me and hunting, I don't think goes together really well, because if something starts crawling up on me, woo, I turn into a track runner. I may be fat, but when something's going down, I'm gone. Okay, like, so get your life, as Tamar Braxton would say. But oh my gosh, like, yeah, that's how some of them sound like. They're like, look at the size of this fish right here. This a mean one, and I'm like, yeah, that's a mean one. You will not see me in that boat. I'm not gonna get eaten by no killer whale. So I leave that to white people. So, or the people that are brave and can do all those cool action sports and shit. Because let me tell you, I've had so many friends tell me like, hey, we should like go fishing and stuff. And I'm like, I am not going to be eaten by no killer whale. So I've watched enough movies to know that the black person is always either the first one to go, or the last one before the protagonist. So I'm not gonna be eaten by no shark. I don't got time. So I'm gonna leave that to the brave white people. Shout outs to the white people. How you doing? Y'all are super brave. Like, this is why I love white people, because white people, you guys are fearless as fuck. Like, you guys be doing stuff where I'm just like, I'll just leave that to James Bond. Like, and do you see this, y'all? I can't, y'all. Y'all are crazy today. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy today. I can't with y'all. Let me get some water before I choke on my stupidity right now. Oh my gosh. Whoo. y'all saw. Oh man. You know, y'all making me laugh that my makeup is sweating. Good God, but you know, it is what it is. But thank you for thank you for following. I appreciate. And this show is popping. It's not because this is my show, but y'all are so fucking funny, man. I can't. But no, like, no, I love white people because they fearless as fuck. Like, I be watching the shows, you know, like those shows where they teach you like how to survive and shit. And yeah, it blows my mind. I was just like, yep, I gotta marry a white man to learn that type of fearlessness. Because I mean, you guys can be like, all right, okay, so here's the game plan, right? Okay, so we gonna get parachutes. Okay, go high up in altitude and jump off that shit, and then we gonna be cool and then have dinner. How does that sound? I'm like, no, you going up in that airplane. I ain't doing none of that parachute jumping. Okay, Mr. Bond. Like, I'll be waving from above, like, okay, do your thing, honey. All right, just don't die on me. Just don't die on me. See, black people don't have time, okay? Like, we make the calculated decisions like that. Like, we'll be like, okay, so if I'm in this high altitude, we turn it into like a math problem. Like, if I have this high altitude, okay, all right, if I jump from here divided by 2, okay, I should be good. All right. Oh my gosh, I can't. This show, we have a good time here, guys. We just keep it real, you know. But I'm gonna leave all the stunts to Jackie Chan and what's that other fine man too? The guy that did the Transporter movie, Jason Statham, I think is the name. Yeah. I'll leave it to them and Chuck Norris because they brave as hell. So. Because some of the stuff, guys, that Jackie Chan does, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't. Like, that is years of conditioning, training, you know, jumping between 2 buildings and shit with no support. Like, you really have to be, you know, meant to do that shit, because you will not see me do that. I'd be like, no, you can put that in graphic design and FX. You can, you know, make me look like I did that shit, but I would not attempt that, okay? Okay? Nobody got time. I'm gonna leave it to the pros, regardless of race. All jokes aside here. But let's continue here, guys. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me and, you know, be like, hey, what's up, or you have suggestions for show topics, stuff like that, that's what it is right here. bookshadenews@gmail.com. So the Readathon challenge, as I call it, okay? So what I did, guys, was I picked a Readathon. I'm committing myself to it, and I really want to like bust through my TBR because my TBR is starting to get embarrassing. I actually organized, I have 2 bookshelves behind me here. They're very small, y'all, okay? I'm not one of these booktubers that's like, look at my luxurious bookshelf. It has all of the books that I love to read. Like, I wish I had that shit, but I don't, okay? I'm an economical booktuber, okay? Get your life. So, but I digress. So I just took this book, you know, Readathon challenge, and then I wanted to do reactions of me, whether it's me listening to a audiobook, and I have the physical copy of this one. So the Readathon challenge here, the reading book battle, as I call it, that I'm going to be doing first is what is called the series Crackdown Readathon. Okay, you know that means that's the shit right there, like series Crackdown, you know. So what this series Crackdown is you reading through like your TBR that has like series. So you're just reading book series, as many books as you can, okay? So what I decided to do is to read this series that, like, Romance Landia, as it's called, the fans of romance, they all say that I'm supposed to read this first. And then secondly, okay, one of my favorite booktubers, you guys know, is Peace Love Books. I love that bitch. How you doing? But she loves this series. A lot of romance readers are like, you guys check this out. And I was like, all right. And then I went crazy and I bought the whole series. But it's not easy to find, guys, because apparently this series is very lit. And okay, already, guys, like, it is a very sexy book. Like, that's why I'm sweating right now, okay? And Jenny says, heck, my bookshelves are in my closet, so you don't have to have big shelves. But you know, I just feel like that's the booktube standard, though. Let's just keep it real. Like, every bigger booktuber that I see, they're like, welcome to my bookshelf. And I'm just like, I wish I had that shit, bitch. I really wish I did, but you know, I'm a economical booktuber, okay? And then I got my last physical book haul, guys, so that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks here, because you know it is taking forever for stuff to come, okay? It's just ridiculous, but I digress, okay? So yeah, apparently this series is really, really good. So I'll be reacting to the audio book, because apparently the person who does it, the voice is very, like, very sexy. So I'm like, okay, let's do a reaction, because you guys know I make the most ridiculous constipated faces and all that. But this is the first book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It's called Dark Lover. Now I'm going to give a couple of disclaimers. There are going to be tons of spoilers, so if you're not into spoilers, don't watch my fucking show. No, please do. But then on top of that, I just, well, for me, I love vampire romance, so I was like, okay, let me try this out. But this series, guys, I have to say too, I do not recommend this for a beginner in romance, because I'm noticing already that Black Dagger Brotherhood is a very complex book series. Okay, when the book has a glossary in front of, like, the front of the book, okay, the first couple of pages is a glossary of terms that you really do need to know. So if you're one of those types that you just want some, you know, I mean, it does have some smut in it, of course, but if you're not into what I like to call the more advanced smut, okay, this series is not gonna be for you, because there's so many terminology. It's just like Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. Like, you really have to study the terminology for you to really enjoy this book series, and that's just my, you know, my view on it so far. I couldn't help it, guys. I did read a little bit ahead. I'm at the end of chapter 1 here, but this is one thing I will say, though. Beth is brave as hell, because she's in New York City, okay, ordering some Chinese food, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna, like, walk for like 4 blocks by myself, and oh, nothing is going to happen. Oh, also too, guys, couple trigger warnings. There is some juicy sexual content in here, so I would advise you do some research. I would also suggest, guys, to get the Black Dagger Brotherhood companion guide, because it also kind of helps you to kind of understand this world as well, because the shit is very complex, okay? And oh, they do have, like, oh, there's a J.R. Ward discussion group, okay, on Facebook. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. So if you want the tea, then, you know, see, Jenny, she brings the receipts, okay, so much appreciated. But yeah, it is a complex series. Like, I mean, even though it's different than Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, but I would not suggest this to a beginner, because it's going to make their head explode. Because once I saw that glossary of terms, I was like, oh, I better take notes, okay? Because I know I'm going to have them J.R. Ward super fans coming for me, bitch. And they're going to be like, first off, you didn't even discuss what happened in chapter 2, page 13. You know, I'm just like, oh. All right, and oh hey, Pinky is back. Hey, what's up? What's up? And Pinky says, hey, I just want to say hi and good night, and you have yourself a good day. Oh, trust me, I will have myself a great day because I'm gonna be reading apparently some sexy vampire romance, and you know me, guys, like, you know, besides my thirst for Asian men, I really have a thing for vampire men to be sexy as hell. And that Raft, yes, God, okay, he is something else. But so I think I am really going to enjoy this. So yeah, this is the series Crackdown Readathon book challenge that I'm gonna do. So my goal is I gotta read through all of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I finished all of the arcs that I was supposed to like finish up, so I did all that. So I got one more, so that'll be coming up probably later, way later, because there's a lot of books in this series. I believe there are like 30 books, but that's considering if you read the novellas, because I think there's like maybe 2-3 novellas. I might be wrong, but you know what, the super fans will correct me, bitch, so it is what it is. All right, let's get started here, guys. I'm gonna okay, there we go. And then I got my Kindle here, and all right, let's get this poppin'. I'm excited because apparently they said that the guy that does the audiobook is really good. So if you know, if I start having some book orgasms, you know why. No, my messiness aside here, such a mess. Okay, so all right. But yeah, that was just crazy of Beth to be like, you know, I'm gonna go by myself and get some Chinese food and nothing will happen. And okay, and guys, here's the thing. She's walking, right, going to get the Chinese food, and it's like the weekend, and you know in New York City they be partying, okay? So then these two guys like come up to her acting extra, and then it's a hot mess, you know what kind of ensues. And I was like, oh my gosh. But now I'm at the part where she kicked both of those guys' asses, and then we're gonna see what happens here in my reaction. So all right, guys, this is my series Crackdown Readathon at challenge and reactions. There we go. So I'll say that book, like, challenge and reaction, book challenge and reactions. I like the name of that. Let's do this. All right. Ooh, he sounds sexy too. He's like, yes. I'm like, woo. I'm like tingling hearing his voice. Yes, go on. I like how you said that the college like the college guys were going to participate in stupid Olympics. That is so true though. But not all guys in college are dumb. So let's just say that, you know. Yeah, he got a nice deep voice, like I need to find out if he's single. Good God. You can read me recipes. All right. Okay, so we just finished quickly here chapter 1. So what I think about it so far, it's pretty good. Beth's a little bit whiny though, because she's just like, I have this terrible like it's kind of like an apprenticeship to, because she wants to become, well, she's a journalist, and she's just a little bit whiny. Because here's the thing, like, if you're not happy with your situation, you just have to apply yourself and make your situation better, you know. So she's just like, I don't like working at this newspaper, it's just so fucking terrible. And so, okay, well, if you don't like it, upgrade, move on. And then those two college dudes that were like trying to mess with her and stuff, like, have several seats for that. Like, It's like, who do you think you are acting a hot damn mess? So I'm glad that Beth kicked both of their asses. Okay, so I'm glad she was able to get out of that situation that she got out of. But let me tell you, like, it's so far so good. I'm liking it. You know, it's very descriptive. You know, I'm understanding this kind of world that you know, that I'm getting myself immersed in and everything. So far so good. And Jenny says, not beginner for romance readers. Yes, Mr. Jim is so full of a voice. A book I would recommend would be the Dark series by Christine Feehan. Yeah, I actually have one of Christine Feehan's books, but I heard like her series is really good, and then of course a shit ton of books in that Dark series. So maybe I might get the audiobooks or something, or get like the Kindle version of it if it's available. But yeah, I heard that, yeah, her books are really good too. All right, so yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of the wrap up here of chapter 1 and what happened in here. So we gonna get it popping. Let's do chapter 2 here and see what happens. I love that, like, lusty curiosity wafting out of their pores. And I like how Raph just has zero fucks. Like, he's just like, he's just calling people cattle. Like, oh my gosh. Let's see here. Okay, Torment is hilarious too, you know, because like the vampires in this particular like universe, like, it's interesting because they have like a period of time where it's when they get in their 20s that they go through this complete adult vampire like transformation, and some people make it and some people don't. Now, the cool thing about the vampires in this world, I feel, they still have some of the traditional vampire tropes, like, you know, the stake to the heart, or like a very severe kind of like puncture can really harm them, but everything else they're pretty much invincible to. But I thought it was really interesting that they have to go through this like a deeper transformation process that's like a little bit deeper than the turning process. So yeah, that's something that really stood out to me from like reading the glossary and everything, like early on. And Jenny says, yes, Mr. Jim reads most of them. Oh, okay, so I'm very excited. Oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be good. Yeah, because his voice is so soothing. It is very juicy. Like, my ears were tingling. I was like, oh my gosh, like. So that's why, maybe because like I'm the type of person, you guys know, that I like to have you know, the audio book if possible, and then I get the physical book. I like to like read the physical with the audio, and it allows me to like fantasize. So if I'm making like constipated weird ass faces, guys, just let me know. Because I be all up in my feelings. I'm like, yes, okay, that's how it works, you know. All right, let's continue here, guys, with chapter 2 here. Okay, now the only thing that sucks though is this stand that I'm using. I have to like pick up the the holder and then like turn the page and then put it back. And but so far it's really good. It's keeping it in place, and it makes it easier for me to read. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this, guys. Every Sunday I'll be like doing this like readathon, like challenge and reaction. There we go. That sounds good. Yeah, that's a good title for this segment. Hell yeah. Ideas. But yeah, it's good. But man, I won't lie though, guys, audiobooks, like, you gotta get them when they're on sale, because audiobooks, some of these like longer book series, is gonna cost you a lot though. It's gonna cost you a lot, okay? Like audiobooks, like regular books, especially now, it's the price is like an all-time high. It's like crazy. All right, but let's continue here because I turned the page. Okay, this must be taking place in like 90s New York, because he mentions the band Cypress Hill. I have not heard of Cypress Hill in forever. Okay, so okay, it's got that 90s kind of flavor. Okay, I like this. I like this. I like this. Yes. Okay. Oh, and if you guys have like questions for me too while I'm reading, you know, let me know and I'll answer those as well. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay, and another thing, guys, too. Now, one of the other classic vampire tropes is that, you know, vampires need human blood in order to survive. But apparently with these vampires, like, human blood is just Gatorade to them. it just gives them nutrients for some time, but they need something deeper. So I thought that that was interesting as well. Oh, rap has this way with women. It's great though. It's so good. Like, you know, a man is so fine is when you forget your own name and your occupation. Just saying. Okay, now let me give some backstory here. There are, okay, so you have the Black Dagger Brotherhood, which like was made to, you know, protect the vampire race. You know, it's, you know, tradition in a way. And then you have these like vampire slayers that are immortal too, I believe. They're called lessers, okay? But what's really strange is once the lessers have been, like, you know, programmed to do their assassination or whatnot, when a vampire kills a lesser, or if they're part of the Brotherhood, they actually keep the hearts of the lessers in the actual Brotherhood tomb, and only people of the Brotherhood can enter, but nobody else can enter. So it's a very like King Arthur kind of feel, like the Knights of Justice kind of thing, you know. So I thought that was interesting as well. Oh, and I forgot to clarify too, the lessening society, this is where like the lessers come from. So a good strong component in this book series is this battle between, you know, the Brotherhood and then this lesser society, and there's a lot more kind of as you go along and reading the books. But see, the thing I appreciate about this series right off the bat though is not your standard cheesy vampire romance where it's like, you know, it's like this mysterious lord and then this like, you know, debutantes and you know, they connect and they have like tons of really hot sex and then it's over. What I like about this series is you can feel the sexiness through the descriptions and stuff like that, but there's still like build up to it, so it feels a little more organic. But from what I've heard, some of the sex in here is like woo. So if I start sweating, you know why, okay? Not because I'm not only because I'm fat, okay? All right, let's continue here. We're about like a quarter of a way, so we're doing good. See, my goal is, guys, I want to try to finish at least a good chunk section of reading this every episode. So we'll do that on Sundays. It'll either be, you know, this or like a review. If I actually, you know, finish a book, then we'll, you know, do a complete discussion on it. But let me know, guys, if you want the discussions to be live or pre-recorded. So let me know that in that vicious comment section below, or you can email me as well. Okay. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. This is very sexy. I appreciate. Raph is a heartless motherfucker. Like he, you know, all these women are like lusting over him because he is very tasty. Okay, tasty. Okay, and he's just like, I just don't care. These human women, you know, like they don't do it for me, whatever, you know. Oh my gosh, he reminds me of Lestat so much, because like Lestat had that like kind of like a little cuntiness to him like that. That's why they call him the Brat Prince, for that very reason. But I'm enjoying this so far. Oh. Okay, so some more detail here. Wrath is like an ancient vampire. So if you have read like you know, Vampire Chronicles, that's like the equivalent to like Akasha, you know, like he's been around for a very long time. The Brotherhood are, yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like comparing them to like King Arthur and, you know, the Knights of Justice, because that's what the Brotherhood is like in a way conditioned for, because they're protecting their kind, you know, they're warriors. So yeah, this is cool. I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling it. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention is, okay, so there's Darius, and Darius has a daughter that's like 25, and she has to kind of go through this turn process to be like an adult female vampire. But there's a twist, guys, with female vampires in this particular series. They have this time period, I forgot the name of it now, but we'll go through terminology. I have to do like separate like episode on that because it is complex. But the female vampires in this series, they have this like lust period where they have this over control, like this huge overbearing like sexual urges, and they have to like fulfill, you know, their sexual urges, you know, before they go kind of like crazy and shit. So what Darius is asking Raph to do is to pretty much, you know, go through this ceremony for his daughter, and he's just like, no. He's like, that's a lot of responsibility, man. I don't know if I can handle that. Yeah, so, but I don't blame him, because, you know, whoever you have this like ceremony with, you're gonna have a bond with them. This is very much similar to Sydney Winward's Bloodborne, which I will be doing a separate review on coming up this week, because they have what are called like their bond mate. This is something very common if you read vampire you know, romance or vampire, like, you know, books like Dracula, stuff like that. You have this, you know, like vampires are always searching for like a significant other. Sometimes they're called like a soulmate, other times they're called a partner, other times they're, in this case in Bloodborne, they're called a bond mate. And once you consummate with them, they're like permanently connected to you. And then they have like a ceremony, you know, to get married and everything. And what's interesting though in Bloodborne though, in comparison to this series, is that when you consummate, that connection is formed, but also your thoughts are also connected as well. So like if you're in danger, your bond mate will sense that as well. So it's very interesting. I like that book series. It's the first book in hopefully a couple more series of books, and the next book is supposed to be coming out pretty soon, so I'm excited. Oh, I hate this time of the year, guys, when it starts to warm up. You're probably gonna see me with less makeup. You may just see me do my eyebrows, and that's like it. You know, because once summertime is in full swing, you know, I start to like lose dress sizes. I can see my feet again. It's wonderful, you know. No. Oh my gosh, it is just a mess. Okay, so let's continue here. Alright. Yeah, Raph is not having it. He seems to be very to the point. He's very to the point. He is not, yeah, he is not about the foolishness. He really is not. So let's continue here, guys. Oh, another thing too, guys. Okay, so Darius' daughter is half human, half vampire. So it does make it complex, because while she's going through this, you know, changing transitional period into, you know, being an adult vampire, it's a little more complicated because of her half human side. It could potentially make it like her chances of survival gets like cut in half. So yeah, it's gonna make it difficult. But if they use Raph's blood, because he's, you know, connected to being an ancient vampire, she would be able to survive the turning process. So Yeah, it's interesting. It's really fascinating. Like, they're already in vampiric form, but like they're going into like a second form for them, you know, being an adult vampire. So I thought that that was interesting. It's an interesting book so far, like I said. Okay, they brought up another term. It's called Shelon. I I think a Shelon is like your bondmate. That's really what it is, you know. So it's a very deep connection. Like it's pretty much your partner, you know. So so you'll, if you hear that, if I mention that term Shelon, that's what that means. Okay, another thing too, now this is very common trope too for vampires. In this series too, they do have mind control abilities, but it depends on how strong you are as a vampire. Since he's an ancient vampire, he's able to like wipe every, like that's what the part I'm at right now is. He's in the club, and you know, Darius asked him like, hey, can you know, help with my, you know, my daughter's turning process, and he's just like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and he leaves, and then he wipes everybody's memory, or you know, it depends on the, probably the strength of the mindset of the human. I might be wrong, but I thought that that was kind of interesting too, that there's certain skills that you don't have until you're completely turned. So you're still a vampire, but like you're not like to your full potential. So that's an interesting twist too. Oh, and another thing too, guys, they have vampires, some vampire series do this, some don't. They have this thing called dematerialization, where they, like Dracula, you know, like he can turn into bats and fly away, or turn into a green, because a lot of, you know, depending on which variation of Dracula you read, usually he's either a bat or like a green mist, or just mist in general. That's dematerialization. It's, you're going from a solid form into, you know, particles in order to travel. So Raft has this ability, but I believe that if you don't go through this full turning process, then you cannot dematerialize. So that's why Darius is asking him to do this, because she won't have those abilities, and then that would, like, you know, put her in danger, you know, because she wouldn't be able to, like, you know, dematerialize and escape, you know, and things like that. Oh, another thing too, guys, that's really that's really kind of strange about this series too, is the lessers smell like baby powder. What? So of all the scents, like, that's how they can tell that a lesser is around, is this scent of baby powder. But that's only if, you know, you have advanced warrior ability like Wrath does. So that, I thought that was interesting. I was like, why do the lessers smell like baby powder? Maybe they'll explain it later on, but I just thought that was strange. I was like, I mean, nothing wrong with baby powder, okay? I like, you know, baby Vaseline. That's, you know, with the scent, it smells awesome. But I don't know if I would want to smell like baby powder like 24 hours a day, like 7 days a week. I think that would be kind of weird. But I digress. Oh, excuse me, guys. Whoa. Oh, and another thing too about lessers, they don't have like a soul, so they don't have like a essence like that. I mean, they do, but it's not like a soul. So this is another tidbit right there. Sorry for yawning, guys. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. Okay, so this was interesting. This was I'm at the part now where Raft has his like first major battle with a lesser, and they're like really descriptive with this, like, and then he drew a long black blade knife from his chest holster. He was disappointed the fight hadn't lasted longer. By going by the dark curly hair and relatively inept attack, this was a new recruit. With a quick thrust, he pushed the lesser onto its back, flipped the weapon in the air, and caught the handle with a swipe of his palm. The blade plunged into flesh, cut through bone, reached the black void where the heart had been. And then it continues here and says, with a strangled sound, the lesser disintegrated into a flash of light. Crazy. Like, and the way that he reads it too, it makes you like picture that, like picture like Raph taking out this long ass like samurai sword and just like jabbing it and just cutting and just like That sounds so brutal though. That really sounds brutal. All right, I'm on page 15 right now, so we're doing good. See, I want to get one of those more like professional book stands where it's like a podium, you know, and then it has those really nice clamps, so like I can just like you can just flip it like that, so you don't have to like lift it or something. But you know, when you on a budget, you know, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. And Jenny says, I know it's good to be economical. Well, I don't know, that seems to be a battle in regards to the booktube community, because it's very divided. I see three main perspectives. Okay, the first perspective I see here on BookTube are the luxurious booktubers. Okay, these are the booktubers that they have the budget, or they have, you know, books sent to them to review, and you know, they're really blessed, right? And you know, they're usually sometimes the ones that have those really nice massive book collections that they have accumulated, you know, throughout the years. Okay, so that's, you know, that's very common, you know. And then you have the hybrid booktubers that are like myself, that they get physical books, but then they also read like ebooks as well, because it seems like ebooks get looked down upon on BookTube sometimes. But now I'm seeing that there is this change, because let's keep it real, the price of books continue to like skyrocket. You know, like I've seen book sets go for like $80-$90, you know, if it's a really popular series, if, you know, depending if it's a first edition, like those type of things you have to put into consideration. So you have these hybrid booktubers that kind of give a mix of both, right? And then the final type of booktuber, which I also fit into this category too, is the economic booktuber. So these are people that are either they're new to the, you know, booktube community, or they just like reading on a budget, and that's like me too. You know, don't get me wrong, if there's a book series that I like, you know, for me, I'll save up for it and get it. But I just think it's good to see all those different like you know, perspectives. I think it's really good to see that, you know, because not everybody can be luxurious when it comes to BookTube. But I think sometimes it's since it's kind of like the standard, you see a lot of booktubers have these like massive museums, you know, of books. And the first thing you have when you're new, you know, it's kind of like you get intimidated a little bit. You're like, whoa, man, I wish I had like a massive collection like this. But then you have to look at it from a realistic standpoint. Some of these people, guys, that are these bigger booktubers, right? They've been collecting books for years. Like for years. They've been doing it for you know, a really long time. And you guys have seen, you know, my book collection. It's not big at all, and I did that for that very reason, because of it's because of space. You know, I just don't have the space to have this like museum, you know. And then the other thing, and this is just me, the main genre that dominates BookTube is YA. And now, you know, you have new adult and YA crossover, but new adult gets talked about a little bit, but you hear more about new adult in regards to romance, you know. But that's something I've also observed as well, because like my show, like, you know, I have some book series that would be, you know, categorized as YA, but I try to like steer away from it, because I'm just one of those readers. I like to be more, and this is just me, I'm more of like a eclectic kind of reader. I like reading series that either no one's talking about anymore, or series that are a lot older, or series, you know, that are, you know, popular, just to see what the big deal is. So I try to mix it up. I try to like diversify my reads. And the other reason why I kind of, you know, don't read like YA like that too, I just can't relate to it. Like some of it, like when I try to read it, I'm like, this is so basic, like what is the big deal, you know what I mean? But that's just me. But I will say this though, and this the real booktuber tea right here, okay? If you really want to be successful like right off the bat, just read YA. That's like all, like that's all you have to do. Besides like people liking your personality, you know, and the TBRs and the wrap-ups and that kind of stuff. Just if you just read YA, you will be so successful. It will not take that much time, you know, for people to notice you. But like I've noticed with myself that I don't really read like that. Like YA just it's just, I mean, there are some series that like I'll be talking about where they really do stand out, and I'm like, it doesn't even feel like a YA series because it's done really well. But I just tend to stay away from it because I can't relate to it. I relate more to new adult, and of course adult than YA, you know. But yeah, there are a lot of adults that do like YA, but it is just not my cup of tea like that. It really is not, unless it's something where, you know, I feel like it's going into the new adult category. I just avoid, you know, YA. And then the other reason too is a lot of like YA series, they're so overhyped, and then when you try to review it in a constructive way, people get all up in their feelings. People get all up in their feelings about YA. So that's my suggestion to the new, you know, booktubers like myself. Just be careful with reviewing YA, because them fans of YA, whoo, they be all up in their feelings, and they will come for you, bitch. They will come for you. So if you're not ready for that smoke, like I said, you might want to kind of reconsider doing YA too. Even though what I said earlier is, you know, if you do YA, it makes you successful, but there is a pro and con with YA, because like once you start doing that YA direction, people are sensitive when it comes to that genre. People get mad pressed, so you gotta be prepared for that smoke. If you're not prepared for that smoke, I would suggest to not review YA on your program. But if you can handle that smoke, then I would say definitely do it, because you will get like super popular like that. For me, you know, I'm more of the, you know, I read a lot of like horror, you know, vampire romance, like paranormal romance, and I also read what are called they're called webtoons. They are web comics from South Korea, and I really want to like really read a lot of these for you, because I don't think webtoons get talked about a lot. So that's what we do here, okay? So yeah, we're making good progress here, but yeah, I had to talk about that for a little bit, because like YA be getting a lot of heat, but it's not an easy genre to review because people are too damn sensitive. Not saying that romance can't get like that, but I gotta, and this is just me, I feel the romance fans are a lot nicer. They're a lot nicer. Once you start reviewing YA, people be like, no, you're a dumb bitch. Da, 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 da. I rarely see that in romance. Like, I see it more in YA than romance. That's just my view, my take on it. But you guys let me know how you feel. Well, you will let me know how you feel, so you already know. All right, let's continue here, guys. Okay, and another thing about dematerialization, dematerialization, you cannot do it with stuff that is too heavy. It just does not work. So there's a part where Darius is leaving the club, and here's the funny part, guys, that made me laugh too, is these fine like women come up to Darius and it's like, oh hey, do you want to like hang out? Just like that too, and he's just like, no bitch. You know, and that blows my mind. Like, what is with these vampire guys right now? Like, they got all these fine women throwing themselves at them. Like, any regular man would be like, come on, fine ladies, let's make this happen. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh no! No! That's savage. That did not just happen. Okay, guys. So he's leaving the club. He didn't, want to, hang out with those fine ladies, which he should have. Okay, but he decided to act a fool, and Darius gets in his car, and little does he know, somebody attached a bomb to his car, and as soon as he turned on the ignition, he was gone. So that's the end of chapter 2. This is so crazy. It goes from I want for you to like, make my that's the part that I'm at, Jenny. That is crazy. This story is all over the place. So let's recap before we get into chapter 3 here. Okay, so this is chapter 1 and 2 I just finished, because I try to read like multiple chapters a day to like keep up with it. But see, I'm one of those like juicy kind of book tea kind of readers. Like, I take my time because I want to like, just salivate every word, you know what I mean? But oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So let's go over it. So chapter 1 and chapter 2 so far, we got Beth, who is indecisive, gets attacked by 2 men, ends up kicking their ass, and getting back to her place, thank goodness, safe in one piece. Then you got the storyline with Darius and Raft and some of the other like Brotherhood dudes hanging out at the club, thinking they better than half of the the women in the club that are just like throwing themselves at them. Then you have the storyline with Darius and this half vampire, half human daughter too, which I just mentioned. And now he's dead. I can't with this. This is so many themes and action, and we just on page 16. This is a lot to take in, though. I can't recommend this series to beginners, though. Like, on real, this like if I was not like, for me, I am more of like a advanced romance reader because I've read so many different series so far, and I'm used to reading vampire books and stuff like that. But this right here, that's this is a lot to take in. Like, Wow, like my mind is like blown, right? No pun intended. But like this is a lot, like a lot. Okay, so let's see how things unfold here. And Jenny says, but it flows together. Well, I hope so, because man, I mean, I thought Anne Rice was complicated, like not like this. Yeah, there's a lot that's going on in here. Wow. Wow. I mean, let's see. That's like 3 to 4 major events in 16 pages, 2 chapters. This is an intense book here. All right, guys, before I start chapter 3 here, I'm gonna stretch a little bit, get some cool air, because I'm like super hot here. And we'll get back into it here, guys, here on Bookshade. So talk amongst yourselves, okay? And Jenny also says that the warden writes some powerful stuff. Yeah, this is some intense shit. Like I couldn't believe so much action. Like I was not expecting that. I was expecting this first book to be like the warm-up, like, all right, we're getting you lathered up, it's gonna be good. But this is just like smacking you all over the place. Like my head hurts. Good God. Alright, guys, I'll be right back here, and we'll get back into me reacting to Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. So talk amongst yourselves.
The silence fades into the night. Coyotes sing at the moonlight. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Feel the wind touch our face. Let's take a spin to a foreign place. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape. Let's escape. Let's escape. the sunrise. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Wave goodbye to your city life, and say hello to the desert sky. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Let's escape. Let's escape. Let's escape. Everything falls into place. The minute you leave and give me space. I wanna know how it feels to live and let go without being put in my place. I'ma just dive right into the wild side, and I'ma ride the wave until I die. Until I die. My skin is cold, as is my heart. I'm falling apart with a smile. My bridges are burning, I'm holding the match. I'm ready to fall, we catch. Dive right into the wild side.
All right, guys, sorry about that very long break there. Oh my gosh, I had to get some water, guys. I think I felt like I was dehydrated or something. So I had to get some water. A mess. All right, here I am. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I felt like really dehydrated. I was like, I need to get I was like, I need to get some water. All right, let's continue here. Things are getting good. Things are getting good. All right, so we're on chapter 3 already. We're making good progress. Okay, so all right, Jenny got some updates for me here. I just got the current book, I believe. What was the new one? The Center, I think. But from what I've been told, the first 10 books are good, but then it kind of just goes wah from there. But matter of personal opinion. That's why I bought all the books in the series, just to see you know, which one is worth it and which one is not. And then Jenny says it's one of the best, and the next book is book 20, not counting the novellas. It comes out next year. Okay, well, that is good to know. That is good to know. All right, let's continue here. Chapter 3, things getting juicy. Apparently, you know, Darius is dead. I was not expecting that. Like, good God. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, hold up. Okay, so this is what I am currently reacting to. First book here in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It's called Dark Lover, but I gotta say, hold up, okay? So we got Beth here in chapter 3. She took a 45-minute shower. Who got that much hot water? Who has 45 minutes? I'm lucky to even get 10 minutes, 15 minutes of hot water. But let me tell you, the hot water we have, ooh, it be so hot, guys. You know, I turn into an Olympic speed skater. That water be so hot, man. It be so hot. Like, nobody, 45-minute shower. That's crazy. And a half a bottle of body wash. You know how expensive body wash is, but you know what, this is in the 90s, so you know the price of body wash was a little bit cheaper. But and her lip is all jacked up, like. But I don't blame her though, because I was like, shouldn't you go to the hospital? Maybe you might need stitches or something. But then again, it's like, after you have been attacked by 2 men, you know, you want to like not go anywhere, so that's understandable. But to look at leftovers that been, like, she had some chicken leftovers for 4 days, you find that hungry? Okay, that's not gonna cooperate with your stomach, honey. Please get your life. Nobody has time for that foolishness right there. That's crazy. All right, let's. I just noticed that. I was like, a 45-minute shot. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Oh, sweaty socks. Okay, at least she has good taste that she got a lean cuisine. I love, guys, lean cuisine. Oh my gosh, lean cuisine, guys, are the best. I totally live for them. All right, let's keep going here. I feel so bad for her. You know, you hungry. Like, she ate like 2 lean cuisines. Like, you know, you are really hungry if you are eating that much. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so she got one of the police detectives calls her and says, like, you know, Darius' car, you know, but they don't know that blew up. And maybe, I don't know, it looked like maybe she got a thing for Jose, because it says here, although Jose was one of her favorites. So anytime a woman got favorites, I mean, you know, maybe that Jose is popping, you know. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Oh my gosh, I can't. Yo, Jose is hilarious. Like, they're having a phone conversation, and like, she's just like, hey, I can't make it tonight because, you know, I don't know, I just got attacked by 2 men and I'm scared as hell. And he's just like, oh, come on, when would you ever turn down a story, right? And then he asks her, he's like, oh, you getting busy with someone? Like, just jump into conclusion. Jose, you a mess. Oh man. Oh yeah, Jose got a thing for her because he's like, you want me to come check up on you? Like, mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I love the fact that he's like, are you sure you're not getting it on? And she's like, no, bitch. Like, come on now. No, I like Jose. Jose and Raph are like my favorites right now. Even though Raph is, you know, a total dick. But damn, I am really feeling him though. I really am. Woo! Okay, another terminology. You have precepts. I think that's like a high class kind of living kind of person. I think that's what that is. I always forget. There's so much terminology though. It's like a high class vampire, I think, but I might be wrong. You guys will correct me, I know. And then there are what are called sorry I keep touching my nose, guys, because like I have allergies and my nose is like so itchy. Okay, so his butler Fritz is what's called a Doggin. Okay, so a Doggin is pretty much someone that could go out in the day and but then they tend to have a faster aging process than like a regular vampire. So I thought that that was interesting as well.
It's a tug of war, battling to keep my sanity. Say no more, say no more. I love you, but I can't keep killing me. I look at myself, I wonder why you don't recognize who you traumatize me. Now what do I do? Pick up the pieces and go.
Okay, so yeah, man, D is cool. It's it just sucks that he died so quickly in this damn book here. But he's kind of like aristocratic, and he kind of reminds me of like Armand from the Vampire Chronicles in a way, because Armand has that very like classical kind of ornate kind of style. So yeah, he's got these big ornate kind of paintings, and then Raph takes like it's kind of like a hidden door, and it goes to the area where his like room is to sleep. But this also reminds me, guys, you guys will learn very quickly, I'm also a huge fan of anime, and I love vampire anime, but specifically one of my favorite series that is very intense though is Hellsing. And I love that, like in Hellsing, one of the characters, her name is I think is it Victoria? Yeah, Victoria Saris, I think. Yeah. And she gets turned into a vampire, and she has this really cool, like, it's like a coffin bed. And you know what I found out, guys? They actually make these. How cool, well, maybe that's just me. How cool would it be to have a coffin bed? That would be really sweet. So like hers, like she just like jumps in and then like closes and then goes down, and then it like closes on top of like a regular bed. I was like, that's cool. Now it would suck to get stuck in one of those, but yeah, they do have coffin beds. I actually looked it up, and they're very like ornate and like really fancy, very fancy. And oh, okay, now see, Jenny's bringing the book receipts, and Jenny mentions that the precepts are the oldest of each line in Cadwell, but the Wraith is the last pure vampire. Oh, okay, so you have like Wraith, and then you have these precepts. Oh, okay. So they're kind of like secondary ancient, if that's a better way to describe it. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I won't lie though, some of the women in this book series are thirsty as hell. Like mad thirsty, and like Wrath is not having or like not having it. Like, let me give an example here. So Marissa makes herself known, and it says here, let's see. As Marissa bowed her slight body to him, he sensed devotion and uneasiness weaving together in the air around her. "My lord," she said. From what little he could see, she was wearing some kind of flowing white chiffon thing, and her long blonde hair cascaded over her shoulders and down her back. He knew she tried to dress to please him, and he wished like hell she wouldn't make the effort. Oh my gosh, he's just like canceling. These women are just like, take me, and he's just like, no bitch, like I'm a selective. And Jenny says, yeah, basically, yeah, these women are thirst traps. Like, I thought I was a thirst trap. Oh no, I am the basic level. No, I am not a thirst trap. I mean, come on, look at me, guys. I mean, come on now. But yeah, there's a lot of thirst trapping, you know. I was expecting it maybe a little bit later, but the thirst trap is real. Hashtag, you know, Black Dagger Brotherhood thirst trap. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So Marissa is his bondmate. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, but he is not feeling her. I mean, I feel bad for her. Like, ladies, have you ever had that? And the guys have these experiences, but you know, ladies, have you ever had? I know how that feels like, is when you like someone a lot and you're like, you know, you're devoted to them because that's what you do as a good woman, you know, should. And the man is just like, whatever. I mean, that really, imagine, guys, like, you know, being a vampire and you're living for you know, decades like this. That is so toxic. Like, I don't think, and see, what sucks too is you could break up, but you guys are bonded, so it's like, I really feel bad for her in a way, because like, I know how that feels like. Like, to give an example, like, I liked a guy like that. Like, I thought that he was going to like be the one for me, and no matter how much like love and compassion and feeling I had for him, he did not feel that same way. But see, sometimes what happens is love can be delusional, where you can love someone so much that you can't see that they're just not into you like that. So that's something I learned, you know, very, very important lesson, is that like, when a man is really in love with you, like they devote themselves to you, they are committed to you, and vice versa. So gets to my heart, you know. And Jenny, I agree, it's like he's not into you. Yeah, that just really sucks. Like, you know, and especially you put in that effort, you know, you put in on the finest chiffon, darling, you know, the finest chiffon, and he is still not. You are being the ultimate thirst trap, and he closes that trap. That sucks. I feel for her. He is a real, I mean, he's hot, but he's a dick, you know what I mean? Hashtag not relationship goals right here. Oh my gosh, the thirst. She's like, I cannot wait any longer. I need you, Raph. And he's just like, all right. I can't with this book. Like, this is a hot mess. I cannot. The thirst is real. All right. Oh, okay. So now we're gonna get into our first sex scene here. So let's see how much sweating I do. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm probably gonna be in the bathroom all day because this is like my second. Excuse me here, guys. This is like my second bottle of water here. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is getting juicy. Good God. Okay, so hey, we got Nati, and Nati, welcome to the program. And Nati says, "Oi, oi, welcome." And Jenny says, "Keep reading." She's going to get her happy ending, but it takes a few books. I'm not surprised. I really feel bad for her at this point. Because like she is giving it, honey, giving that like fantasy. Like if Raph was like a normal man, he would probably be all over her, because that's like the number one complaint I hear a lot of men say, is that like when and this, it can be whether same-sex relationship or heterosexual. We are LGBTQIA plus friendly here on Bookshade, so I will be reading same-sex romance books as well, and I know that's going to be fun to read too, be interesting to read, but yeah, I really feel for her, for like, because it's just like she's trying, you know. Like she's like, I am here, you know, I am giving you the fantasy, darling, and he's just like, bitch, please, like, okay, whatever, let's just get it over with. I shouldn't be laughing. That's kind of making me an asshole, but you know what I mean, ladies. It's like you put forth all this effort, and when he's not into you, he is not into you, you know? But yeah, like that just really sucks. And like, yeah, I know how that feels like. It's like I'm like reliving all these like terrible like memories of like guys that I was really into, and I like, you know, dressed for days, and they're just like, no. And it's like, I wasted this makeup. I gave you body. You know what I mean? Ugh. Yeah, but that's like the number one thing men complain about. Like, oh, like in the beginning of the relationship, they're like, oh yeah, and she's the dress sexy for me, and I was like, yes, squad, you know. And then later on, oh, you know, we got comfortable, and then she like let herself go. Well, no, that's not always the case, because sometimes we are ready, okay? All right, and then you be feeling some kind of way, and vice versa. So, you know, this is why communication, guys, is very important. Making sure you're constantly, you know, getting in touch with each other, you know, all of that. And Jenny says trying too hard. Yeah, sometimes you can try too hard, but other times, see, this is where men is confusing for me, because on one hand, men say like, you know, I want this woman that's like, you know, like sexy, and she always brings in, and blah 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 blah. But then when they finally meet a woman like that, then some of them get scared, and I'm like, why are you scared? This is what you wanted, right? Like, why are you scared now? Why are you backpedaling? You know, it's a weird phenomenon with some men. You know, like a confident, strong, intellectual, intelligent man is not going to be afraid of a secure woman, a confident woman that is like the complete package. So, oh my gosh. And Jenny says parts of the books lay down the groundwork for the next book. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was assuming. But let's see how this apparently juicy sex scene is going to unfold. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so this is interesting. So pretty much she was forced to become his Sheldon, and he even said, he's like, I will release you from this this covenant that we have, this bond that we have, so you can find the person that you're really in love with. But she is that loyal that she stays with him for all this time. Okay, that is loyalty. Okay, wow. And Jenny says that they want Barbie these days. Yeah, that's true though. They all want that like Barbie supermodel type. That's what really makes dating hard, guys. Like, that's why I just don't believe in dating anymore, because it really is a waste of your time, especially as a plus size woman. It's even worse, because not only do I get, and I'm not saying all men are bad, because there are a lot of decent men, you know, but it just sucks sometimes, because like when you're plus size, you got a lot more hurdles that you have to deal with, such as, you know, plus size women will just go with, you know, any kind of man. No. Okay, plus size women have standards just like any decent, well put together woman should have. And just because you have standards, that doesn't mean that you're entitled. That doesn't mean that you know, a prude. That doesn't mean that you're stuck up. It's, you know what you want, and that's very important. A lot of times, and this is the reason why I say sometimes dating is a waste of time, is because a lot of times people get into a relationship and they're not secure in what they want, and that's how you waste your time. So for me, I am more of a selective dater. So you have to show me that it is worth my time and your time to see if this is something that can be tangible. Like, I'm not just gonna date a whole bunch of, you know, a whole bunch of guys because that's like the thing to do. Like, I am a selective dater, and that's fine if people want to think I'm entitled or stuck up, but you gotta know what you want, you know. And especially you, with me, you know, being a plus size person, like, man, I got made fun of so much that you know, and I'm one of those people, you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I love someone, like, I love them like that. Like, I am like, you know, I'm like one of those girlfriends that wears like those t-shirts that's like, you know, he is the best boyfriend ever, you know. You know, that's just how I am. I'm like that, really, you know, and we all have our, you know, our flaws and things like that, but like, I know this within myself that like when I love someone, I am loyal. I don't look at any other men. Like, I'm not like that, you know. I'm just not. Like, if a guy is like, hey, you know, I want to, you know, really make this work with you, and I, you know, really am committed, you know, committing to me and taking me seriously, I just, if another guy likes me, I'm just like, sorry, you know, I am, you know, locked down on this situation. I appreciate the compliment, but, you know, because I feel that's important. I wish sometimes men were the same way sometimes. Like, some are, but there's still some of you guys, man, you know, you be liking me, and then you talking to my best friend, then you talking to this other lady, and and there's like 10 of them, and it's just a hot damn mess. And this is not saying women don't do that, because, you know, we do. It's just that sometimes we're smarter with it. just saying. But no. No, I'm all about loyalty. Like, if I love someone, like, I love them, you know. So I think for some guys, they're not used to that. So like, I remember this was like the second guy that I had like a serious relationship with, and that was like the number one thing that he noticed about me, because he'd be like, Amira, you are so dedicated. Like, you really love me. Like, I've never had that feeling before, you know. But what I told him was, I was like, well, that's how I'm supposed to be. Like, as your girlfriend, my loyalty, besides my family and of course, you know, God, it's with you, and that's how it's supposed to be. And you are supposed to be the same way for me. Just like how I protect you, you are also my protector as well. And you know, and I know that's like the traditional mindset of like how a relationship is, because these days it's a relationship has so many different connotations, I can't even keep up, okay? But this is why I always tell ladies, you know, if you know, it's seen as a masculine trait for women to be very straightforward, but you need to let these guys know, okay? Or your partner or whoever you're getting to know, you gotta let them know where you stand, so that way you don't waste your time, okay? And then you're not wasting their time either if they're not feeling you like that. You know those red flags, as they would say, okay? Especially if you plus size like me, if the guy is just focusing on how you look like, that's not the one you want to be with. You want someone who sees you as the complete package. That's what's important, y'all, okay? And and Jenny says, ooh, okay, we getting into it today. And Jenny says, I've been a widow, oh, I'm sorry, for 5 years, and I tried dating again, and it was like, guys my age are all about looks, and it's nuts, and I'm in my 40s. Yeah, I don't know what it is with some men. Once they get in their 40s, like, you know, they trying to act like they a K-pop like superstar. Like, you know, they like some of them, and I'm not saying that there's not women who would be into men that are in their 40s, because there's tons, but sometimes some of these guys be superficial with it, you know. And I'm being fair, like, women, we can be superficial too. We all have our types that we are attracted to, but one thing I do notice with men is when they get into their 40s, it's like all hell breaks loose, and they're like, all right, I need me a supermodel girlfriend. Where can I get one? And it's just like, you know, that's great, you have a supermodel girlfriend, but like that's it, you know, like that's not what, to me, life is about. Okay, great, your significant other is attractive, and you know that's y'all business. Like, everybody else don't care, you know. It's like sometimes when men get into that age of like in their 40s, and it's not all men in their 40s, but it's just there's some men that it's like women are not women anymore, we're like trophies. Like, you know, like, oh, look how hot she is. It's just like, I can't, you know. It's a mess. But no, I understand how you feel, Jenny, because and I mean, for me, even though I am attracted more to older men, though, I'll be honest, but I like the older men that, you know, they have experience and they know what they want, and especially in regards to the love department. So I like me a mature older man, okay? Yes, the midlife crisis, you are absolutely correct, Jenny, because some of them have it. It's like, you know, they're all of a sudden they trying to like slick back their hair, and I'm like, you can't slick back that hair no more. You need some hair implants. No. No, there are plenty of men in their 40s, their hair is laid, okay? It looks good. You know, but I like men that are comfortable with themselves like that. And see, that's maybe the reason why I like older men. Like, I prefer more like mature older men, is for that reason, because, you know, some of them, yeah, they be like, okay, you know what, I am an older man, I am living my life, you know, and I'm to the point now where I want someone to be a part of that, and you know, we work together and make it happen, you know. But yeah, there are some older men where they're still acting like, you know, they're in their, you know, 20s and early 30s. So that's the main reason why, guys, I just prefer mature older men, is because then you bypass some of that like immaturity. Now, this is not saying some older men don't be acting like that, because just like what Jenny is talking about, I've seen that too, you know. But that's what kind of made me go older, was because, you know, guys that were in you know, my age range, they just the maturity was not there, and I'm like, I just don't want to deal with this. So once I went older, I had the opposite effect, because some women, when they go older, they have a bad experience where the guy is older and immature. That sucks. But once for me, once I started going out with guys that were older, I had a much better experience, because as much as sometimes, guys, as goofy as I am, I still have a mature mindset. So it's hard for me. Like, I'll give an example. Like, if there's a guy who is in my, my age range, and you know, we're having that conversation, let's say on the date, right? And like, it's like, oh, tell me what you're into. And then I explain like, oh, hey, I like opera, and I do, you know, adult coloring, and you know, and I like you know, working out, and you know, dancing, stuff like that. And they just kind of look at me like, you know, and I enjoy, I read a lot of, vampire romance and the classics like Jane Austen, that kind of stuff. And they're just like, either they know, if they know it, or they're just like, oh, you act like an old person, not interested. So that was it for me. After I had that experience, I'm like, I am going out with mature older men only, period. And ever since I made that decision, I've had a better experience. But that's just me. Like, older mature men is not gonna be for all women. You know, some women like the, like, don't get me wrong, I like me a muscular man too, okay? Yes. But then I also like, shout outs to the skinny guys too, because there are a lot of skinny guys that be loving us too. And yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. There we go. But yeah, I always tell the ladies, there's someone out there for you. Like, I used to feel hopeless like that. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm big, and I'm a black woman that's not like the stereotypical, the stereotypes often associated with black women. So because I don't really fit that, it does make dating, relationships a little bit difficult. But I'm finding, there are men that like me for being, I was really surprised to find out there's a lot of men who do like plus size women, like sincerely do. But it's still a difficult journey, because you don't know if the guy is just with you because they just want to try a big woman, or, they have like, a mess. But with all that, being said here, let me continue here and see what's going on here. Yo, Raph is cocky as hell, man. Aww. like a real party for his ego. Yo, Raph has he has an ego bigger than his house, yo. Like, oh my gosh, like a mess. This is Raph is super arrogant, yo. He's super arrogant. He's just like, it's like here it says abruptly he felt like cursing. Tonight was stacking up to be a real party for his ego, yo. And Marissa be loving him like unconditionally, and he still does not give two fucks. Wow. that is really fucking sad. That's loyalty. I don't know how she does it. Oh my gosh. Let's continue here, y'all. This is a mess. Okay, so this is something that's really funny too about the female vampires in this series too, is when they get this like strong sexual urge, like the male vampires have to be careful, because if they're not careful to like satisfy her need and everything, like they can the female vampire can get so out of control that they can like lock them down, and like it's just a difficult situation. So he's like trying to tread carefully, like he's like, okay, I'm going in, but I gotta make sure that I can get out. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh no. I can't with this. This is okay, so no sex scene, so that's a bummer. I couldn't react to that because Raph is like the ultimate like cock block. He's just like, you know, I can see her being like, you know, Raph, you know what time it is, and he's just like, eh. what kind of man or vampire man is this? Like, Raph is something else, because he was just like, he was just like, well, I mean, I want to give it to her because, like, if I'm give it to her, I'm gonna really give it to her. And I'm just like, well, what? I mean, I'm not gonna turn that down, if you can throw it down, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, this is a hot mess. I can't with this book series, man. This is crazy. Alright, let me turn the page here. Yeah, things are getting crazy here. This is a mess. But a book series is good is when you got all these different emotions. Like, I was mad, I was laughing, I was confused. So this is interesting. I do like Torment. Torment he's interesting too. All right, so we are moving on here to chapter 4. Well, let's see. In chapter 3, it was nothing but cock blocking. Raph is something else. Raph is really popular. I noticed a lot of people like him as a character. He's kind of like that guy you just love to hate because, like, he got the sex appeal, but he's such a dick, but he's so cunning. Like, yeah, he's one of my favorites, but we'll see. Maybe it might change. You never know. But oh man, it's hilarious. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. Yeah, this is not too bad. Yeah, it is different though than Vampire Chronicles. Like, not as much I mean, there's some history, but it's not as deep like Vampire Chronicles right away. So we'll see. It's just done differently. And yeah, it's just done differently. So yeah, it's interesting. I like that 90s feel to it. I love 90s vampire shows. I really enjoy. The 80s shows were okay, but I like 90s and early 2000 vampire shows. And actually, I was surprised, guys. There were a couple. There were some that were in America, But majority of the like the vampire shows now that I'm watching are and we have Ba. Thanks so much for following. I appreciate it. But yeah, most of the other newer series are coming from like overseas, like Europe and stuff. Like the BBC, I remember they had a vampire show. But yeah, if you guys want me to review like vampire shows and stuff, like I can totally do that as well. So give me 1 second here, guys. Here we go. Yeah, so I can do that too, because I love watch. That's like all I watch is any like thing with like, you know, vampire romance, whatever, TV shows, like that's my stuff. Like I was gonna watch Outlander, but I wanted to read the books first, so that's gonna be the next series that we're gonna do, continuing this this book challenge with. I keep forgetting the name of the challenge here. This is the series Crackdown, so we'll continue that. And then I will be doing this week too, I've been reading a lot of webtoons, so I'll have my adult webtoons wrap up, so that'll be coming up this week as well. Yeah, I love reading like adult webtoons, and they are very steamy. Yeah, so there's some where I'm like, woo, this is hot. Like I'm getting all up in my feelings and all that good stuff. All right, so let me react here to this is going to be the final chapter that we're going to go over, as much of it as I can here, which is chapter 4. So let's do it, guys. This is, yeah, so far, and then we'll do the wrap up of what I've thought about the first half of the book and the audio book here. Whew, excuse me, guys. Good God. But I do like that the chapters are really short, so you can just get through them real quick. So I appreciate that. I do enjoy the description for Butch here. It says, Butch O'Neill stepped in front of her, silencing the other cop with a dark look. Isn't this a surprise? Beth stepped back. Hard ass was a lot of man. Big body, deep voice, and attitude to spare. That's a lot of man. Good God. Oh man, but there is nothing wrong with a lot of man, right? Am I right, ladies? Okay. Oh my gosh, like, but you know the thing is too, like, see, for me, I'm open-minded like that. I mean, I like tall guys, but I like short guys actually more than tall guys, so I'm kind of different that way. Like, my friend always makes fun of me for this and be like, why do you like the short guys? I mean, what can a short man do for you? And I was just like, get a notebook and let me give you some. Let me give you some notes. Like, I love a short man. I really do. There are some very charismatic, very sexy short men out there. So to the short guys out there, if you feel discouraged, there are plenty of women who will be feeling you, okay, and love you for you, okay. So keep doing your damn thing. Okay. All right, let's continue here, guys. Ooh, so Beth had some issues with the fellas, but then again, I feel the same way too, because I don't like, sometimes I don't know what men want, okay. It's like they want the looks, then you know they want for you to, like, you know, take care of them, and you know, my favorite thing though is when guys get sick though. That's the thing that cracks me up. Like, when guys get sick, they turn into, like, some, you know, some men, they be like, hey, I'm sick, I can handle it, you know. But there are some men where they need you. They're like, oh honey, can you make me something? I am just falling apart, you know. Like, I get like that. So that's why for me, I will need a very strong, supportive man. Because guys, let me tell you, when I get sick, I get sick. I turn into an Oscar award-winning performance. I'm just like, oh, everything hurts, you know. Like, so, you know, so for me, I will need a man be like, hey, you know what, honey, I got you. Here, let me go to the store, let me get you something, what do you need, you know, that kind of thing. And I would do the same thing for him, you know. But there are some guys, they just turn, they are so delicate when they get sick. And then it's so funny because then some women get annoyed and they be like, you just have a cold, suck it up, you know. Which is not right, you know. If a guy's feeling that way, see, that's how you get those extra points, ladies. You know, you take real good care of him and stuff, you know. Then he returned the favor, you know what I mean? Because you know what really gets me hot and bothered, guys, is when, like, guys doing, like, chores, okay? Like, you know, just sweeping the floor, like, cleaning. Oh, that gets me hot and bothered. When I see a man be like, hey, let me get that trash for you. Let me... See, I'm getting hot right now talking about it. Let me stop. Let's continue here, guys. Yo, Butch got a lot of muscle, man. He drinking tons of protein, like 70 pounds of muscle. That's a lot of man. I can work with that. Okay, I can. Yes, I can. I can appreciate that. But Butch sensed that something is wrong with Beth, so I'm gonna see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I do like that Raph uses like throwing stars and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But he was an idiot though for leaving evidence there. You know, like not smart. That's not smart. Now, Tor is an interesting character as well. I like the way that they describe him. Like, Torment was fired up. He was just like, it's about to go down. But I like the description of Tor. It says, as Tor settled back against one of Darius's yellow walls, or I think it's like Vicious. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I liked his description too. It says Vicious came into the room. The goatee he had recently grown made him seem even more sinister than usual, although the tattoo around his left eye was what really put him into ominous territory. And I love how JR uses like how she uses descriptors for the characters, because that's what makes them realistic. Like, I could close my eyes and picture Raph or picture Thor or picture you know, Torment or Vicious. So I like that. I like when when you're reading something and you can visualize like physically. Oh, I enjoy that. So yeah, so far so good. Okay, so apparently Rage is also a favorite too, because I love this. It says Rage followed. His cocky attitude dialed down the deference of what brought the brothers together. Rage was a towering male, big, powerful, and stronger than all of the other warriors. He was also a sex legend in the vampire world. So, you know, apparently he is the sexiest male vampire alive. Like, I love that. That's what was making me laugh. I love the fact that like Rage is so fine that women would like trample over other women to get at him. So he must be very, very juicy of a man. Okay, and I know exactly that kind of guy where, guys, let me give you a little story time. So there was one time, like, you know, I like to do shopping, right? I like to shop. You know, not like excessively, but you know, ever so often I was like, you know what, let me treat myself. So I'm shopping and then I look up, guys, and when I tell you, this was the most like tastiest man I have ever seen in my life. I couldn't even speak English when I was talking, like just saying hi to him. It couldn't even come out of my mouth. Okay, that's when you know a man is so fine, is when you forget what language you speak. Okay, so I definitely know how that's like. But you know, Rage also has a very like dark side to him as well. So let me find out this other side to him. All right, let me turn the page here. All right, awesome. So apparently you don't want to mess with Rage. He'd kick your ass. Okay, and then we have another person too, which is Fury. It's like Fury was the last of the Brotherhood. So he's part of the Brotherhood too. So it says Fury was last walking through the front door with his limp barely noticeable. His prosthetic lower leg had recently been updated, and he was sporting a state-of-the-art titanium and carbon deposit number now. The combination of the rods, joints, and bolts was screwed into the base of his right shit kicker. Yeah! I love that. Oh, that's so great. Oh my gosh, guys, sorry for yawning. Whew. Long day. Okay, so Fury doesn't have a bondmate because he decided to be celibate, and I don't blame him. Okay, dating is hard out here. Okay, and you know, for me, like, because I love so hard, so when my heart gets broken, it takes me a while to like really heal. So that's why I really believe in selective dating. You know, before I used to be like, oh, dating, you know, I just don't believe in it. But you know, you just have to be selective with it, and you just have to make sure you're doing your best, you know, just to make sure you're trying to be with someone that, like, you know, respects you and values you, you know, and is not trying to change you, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't blame Fury for wanting to be celibate, because it's really hard to, like, you know, especially these days, meet like decent people that are actually gonna like keep it real with you and be loyal. So I don't blame him at all. And there's nothing wrong with being celibate either, because that's the thing. Sometimes I would feel like, you know, in I always say American dating culture, you know, it's all about like sleeping around, and like that's, you know, that's cool. But my thing is, and this is just me, you know, when it comes to dating, you know, intimacy is a very deep connection, and also you have to trust somebody with your intimacy, you know what I mean? So I don't blame Fury at all. You know, you want to, you know, you want to be with someone who like values you, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't blame him at all. Jeez, Z is brutal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys, sorry. I must be ready for bed, right? Oh my gosh. With wrath. No. Oh man. Man, Zetas is a beast, like, scary. Oh, Z is a masochist, okay. You know what? It made me laugh. Like, I was thinking of like Final Fantasy 15. Guys, can you imagine if Black Dagger Brotherhood turned into like a video game series or a TV series, it would be pretty good. Like, I'm liking this so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a lot going on. There is so many different storylines going on. I am trying to keep up. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it seems interesting so far. Okay, so this is a different twist because, like, in Vampire Chronicles, like in series like that, like, you know, vampires are immortal and they live forever. But in this series, if I'm correct here, they kind of have a shelf life, and there are some vampires that live longer than others. So I thought that's kind of interesting. Okay, so another person that is coming up to is Omega, and Omega is the creator of the Lessening Society, which creates these lessers that target vampires. So because of Omega and the formation of this organization, that is what's putting the vampire population in danger. So that's why the Brotherhood in a way was created, to like combat against the lessening society and fighting against the lessers. That's interesting. This is really, really complex. Man, Rage is just like, we gotta take them down. And it's like, well, it's not easy as that, man. Like, come on, calm down. Woo! This part sounds like it sounds like a JRPG. Like, Raph is like, yeah, we gotta raid more. Like, I get to see them just getting hit points as they're killing the lessers, you know? Like, oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh guys, man, let me take this off for a second here. Oh, it's like my ears are all sweaty. Oh man, I need to get more fans. Okay, I love this banter between Z and Wrath. Okay, so it says the front door swung open, and I'm just gonna call him Z. And Z strode into the house. Wrath glared. Nice of you to show up, Z. Busy tonight with the females? And he's like, how about you get off my dick? Z went over to the corner, staying away from the rest. Z does not, he has zero fucks given. He does not put up with Wrath's bullshit, so I'm glad. So it seems Wrath has met his match. He is very antisocial though. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is interesting. So, Wrath ends up, like this photograph came out, like it kind of flew out of this envelope, and it says if I haven't spoken, and this is coming from D or Darius. And it says, if I haven't spoken to you already, ask Torment for details. 1188 Red Avenue, apartment 1B. Her name is Elizabeth Randall. P.S. The house and Fritz are yours if she doesn't survive to adulthood. Sorry it had to end soon, D. So it seems that there's more to this, you know, him getting killed than, you know, meets the eye here. Okay, so we have, all right guys, so we have, yay, this was fun. I have to do this. We'll definitely finish this. Let me know, guys, if you enjoyed this, because I'm always, you know, trying to improve the show. But next week, Sunday, because I do the show twice a week on Sunday or Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday is either going to be a review or my segment that's called Books and Video Games, where I play you know, video games that are based off a book series. So yesterday we started playing through The Witcher, the enhanced edition, and that was fun, but I have to like go back and replay because what happened was I was getting to this other part in the game and the game crashed and shut down, and then I forgot to save, guys. So now every couple of minutes I'm like saving, so I'll have to play through it tomorrow so that next week on Saturday I'm like all caught up and all that. But I promise you we'll be starting the show, which is at 9 o'clock Central Time. But yeah, you guys let me know if you enjoyed this. I'm always trying to do things a little bit different. But let's recap here, because we've gone I've read through the first 4 chapters, and I will read ahead, guys, just because, you know, if I'm gonna read through Black Dagger Brotherhood, like, it would take me longer if I have to wait till, like, you know, every Sunday. So I am gonna read ahead, but I will at the beginning of every episode, every, you know, live episode, I will do a recap. But let's do a wrap up here, okay? So what do I think about Dark Lover? This is the first book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Let's go over the pros. Definitely the way that she writes is so juicy. Like, it's just so inviting. It's very enticing. It's like in your face. Like, I really enjoy that about her, like her writing so far, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Like, I would not expect for the, like, one of the main, what you think is a main character dies right away. And I won't lie, there are some of the content in this book is intense, like right off the bat, so definitely viewer discretion is advised. I love the description of the characters, and that's what makes the characters relatable. It's like I could connect to Raph right away, or, you know, so I love that. I really do. Beth is okay, but she's an okay character for now. Maybe things will get interesting with her as we're reading through this series. But yeah, those are definitely the pros. But I have to be on, you know, I gotta be honest and keep it real. Let's go over the cons of this book. Too much shit is going on. I mean, you have the car explosion with D, so he's gone. Then you have this half human, half vampire daughter, and where are her whereabouts? Then you have the relationship between Marissa and Raft, and then you have all of the, you know, the separate issues within the Brotherhood. So that's a con for me a little bit. There is way too much stuff going on. I mean, at this point you might as well just make a separate kind of like a part 2 kind of book, you know, kind of explaining that. But it's a lot to take in for the first 4 chapters, so that would be a con. And then secondly, this is not going to be a book for beginners in Romance-landia, okay? So if you're into romance books, if you need something, I would say for beginners, that would be easy to understand. If you like vampires, let me think. I would say the Arginal series would be a great entry point, because it does have some complexities, but not like this. I mean, if a book has a glossary, okay, you know there's going to be a lot of complexities to this world. I do recommend, guys, do get the Black Dagger Brotherhood companion guide. I'll actually, next time I'll get it so I can show you how it looks like. It's a more, you know, it's pretty much kind of like a encyclopedia to the world of Black Dagger Brotherhood, and it also includes a novella as well that kind of adds to the story. But yeah, this is intense. Like, this is probably one of the most intense vampire romance books that I have read in a long time. So yeah, so I have my, you know, both of my bookshelves are organized by, you know, for my TBR, you know, by book series. So yeah, we're gonna continue doing this series, Crackdown Readathon challenge and reactions of right now we're reading Dark Lover, but we will continue, guys, going through in the entire Black Dagger Brotherhood series. But so far this book is not too bad. It's not too bad. It's definitely juicy, very intense, and yeah, and if you're a prude, this is not going to be the series for you, because a lot of these characters, they have what would be called a potty mouth, okay? Because they're saying fuck and shit and fuck and bitch and like, so if you're not into swearing and you're a prude, you know, a prude, this is not gonna be for you. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for checking out this my first ever readathon challenge and reactions. And yeah, if you have done this series Crackdown readathon where you're trying to read through an entire series, let me know. Definitely let me know. Let me make sure that I put this up. Once again, guys, if you want to get in touch with me, this is the best way. If you have suggestions, you want to let me know, you know, how you feel about the show, whatever, you can contact me here, which is at bookshadenews@gmail.com. I am also on social media, which is Twitter and Instagram, which is at bookshade1. And I'm also thinking about doing a Pinterest as well, but you guys let me know. You guys let me know. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun. Just like hanging out and me reacting to this book. But yeah, I have a feeling this is just the beginning, and I have a feeling things are going to get even more complex, and all of that. So yeah, things are definitely going to get interesting from here. And when I finish the book, I'll actually do a separate review on it, but that's going to be pre-recorded just because I have a feeling I'm going to have to do a lot of research on it. But if you want me to do it live too, just let me know. So alright, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And like I always say, remember to embrace the darkness of reading. I'll see you guys again on Saturday, but I may have a midweek update and a review for you guys. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care.